We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
First of all, I'm going to say I apologize for being really tardy today. And I'm not going to make it up on the back end at all. We're going to keep going to the show as usual. And we're going to keep it moving and we're going to keep it going because what we got to say today is really powerful. I was the reason why I'm late today because I didn't work from home today. I had to actually go into the office. Got a chance to actually meet a lot of the other managers for the first time. I got to meet one in particular who we had such a good working chemistry with, real sweet individual. And it was really cool. It was cool to meet everybody for the first time. So it was a really good day. No complaints or anything whatsoever. But before we get into anything else, I want to say happy Wednesday. It's always a wonderful day to be alive. Treat it like it is. It's the present, and it's a present. It's a gift for us. So entirely grateful. Thank you for all of you for tuning in to Unfiltered. This is probably going to be relatively one of the shortest shows I've ever done. On behalf of the greatest podcast on social media, on behalf of Mr. Reese and Miss Hills, I don't know if they're going to be on tonight, but I got something I want to give y'all, man. I got something that it really, really blessed me. And I want to give it to y'all and just kind of elaborate and throw some things that I was given after hearing it. For some reason, I know that we've been going on this entire year, right? And it's been the outpouring of how y'all love the topics and how it's really been helping y'all. It's just that's what we're here to do. We're here to give out unfiltered truth with by any means necessary to make sure that we get out the right and correct messages. Not wrong. We're not trying to be first. We're trying to be right. And that's what we always done here at Unfiltered. And I'm grateful for it. I'm glad that every individual that has been a host on this show, guest on this show, has done nothing but bring integrity. And I love it. It's a beautiful day. It's awesome. And I want to get into it. We've been talking about healing this entire year, which is apparent because if you look around us, man, that's something we need more than anything, right? And we can all attest and agree to that. But one of the things that I want to touch on is, why do we need healing? Why is it important for us to heal? Because some people could care less. They're like, man, I could keep a grudge forever. I could stay mad forever. Some of us do it knowingly and unknowingly, right? So I want y'all to take a look at this quick. It's a real quick clip from Pastor Henderson. I do not own the rights whatsoever to this video, okay? So I don't know, I just wanted to get that right off the bat. But I want y'all to hear this brief message, and then I just kind of want to go after it on the information that I heard and what I've been given to elaborate on, because it's been on my heart all day. As I've been having a great day, and I'm like, what is it got brought to me, I'm saying, like, man, why do we need to heal? Why is it important that we heal? It's the question that some people never ever ask. People say you need to get healing, to get healing, but why is it important that we heal, right? So I want to let y'all hear a little bit of this. Again, I do not own the rights to this video, and the short amount of clips that I use, but it is not used in video in its entirety. Take a look, take a listen, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all.
That my arm is broken, as opposed to saying my heart is broken. But pain, listen to me, pain doesn't care if you are rich. It doesn't care if you poor. It visits the house and it stays the night. It doesn't need a key. It can walk through the front door. Pain don't care if you're black or white. Pain doesn't care if you're famous or infamous. Pain doesn't care. It's not prejudice. It does not care if you have notoriety. It doesn't care if you got a contract. It doesn't care if everybody knows your name. It goes to the White House and the trap house. Come on, talk to me, somebody. Pain does not care. It walks with you. It gets in the car with you. It gets in the kitchen with you. You can go on vacation, and guess what? When you get to Mexico, your pain is right there. When you get to Harlem, your pain is right there. You can go to Maine, and your pain is right there. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. Pain is tenacious. It is relentless. It doesn't quit. It keeps coming. And when you cry, it seems to turn up the volume. Why is pain so relentless? It's because you're not looking at hurt as a healer. And the moment you accept what you're going through as a messenger from God, it teaches you the lesson, and then it releases you. I'm going to say something in here today that you're going to actually have to swallow. You did not have to hurt that long. It did not have to last 3 years. It did not have to last 5 years. It did not have to last 10 years. It lasted that long because you refused to heal. Who am I talking to? And if I'm not talking to you, I don't care if you admit it or not. I'm talking to you. You ain't got to raise your hand. Keep your hand down. I don't care about your attitude. I'm talking to you. Pain doesn't care. And it didn't have to last that long. And instead of embracing the message, we shoot the messenger. Anybody who tells you about yourself, you don't want to hear it. I'm the same way. Because you imagine somebody coming and telling you, this is your issue. But pain makes you say, no, well, what about you? Come on, y'all. Are we in here together, or is it just me? Pain makes you get out of the hot seat as quick as you can to put somebody else in it. And when you think you got them, then you want to dig in. The truth is, all an argument is two hurting people. And when somebody recognizes, I'm going to release it, it's hard to argue alone. It's hard to argue alone. It's hard to do it by yourself. It's hard to do it. And really, there are actually 4 arguments happening in every one. There's the one that you're having with each other, the one y'all both having with yourself, and the one that's in argument with what God said. So there are four things going on at the same time. We are in pain, not recognizing that the pain has been assigned to us, not recognizing that the reason why that pain has been prescribed to us because it is a prescription designed to heal, not recognizing that the only reason why we need that medicine is because we're sick in that area, not admitting that we're sick in that area, but we'll admit who we're sick of. If you can't, let's do this. If you can't say, man, everybody just say, ouch. And pain doesn't care if you consider it a friend or a relative, it ain't leaving. Pain spends the night at your house without asking. It go on vacation with you, turns a duo to a trio. No, without even asking. Pain be at the check-in counter with you. Talking about, we coming here? Okay. We're going to argue here. We spent $10,000 to come argue? Okay, we'll do it. Pain is in the mall with you. While you're spending money to get over pain, pain at the register saying, this ain't going to help. Pain is at the table with you when you eat and think you're just going to eat it away. Pain is like, you're going to be overweight and angry? You about to clog your arteries and stress? That ain't good. At least if you didn't have clogged arteries, you might survive. Pain right there with the alcohol. You trying to drink the pain away? Like, man, you're going to be a drunk and angry. Pain's right there with the drug. Whatever you use, pain is there with pornography. Whatever you use to medicate yourself, pain waits until you finish and then says, you ready? I'm back. Come on, talk to me if I'm talking to you in here today.
Whew. Shout out to Pastor Anderson. I remember that whole, if you get a chance, go and look at that whole message as a whole. That's some powerful stuff. And I tell you, it is it's everything we've been talking about this whole time frame in regards to it. And when you just hear it, it's a lot of things that was said, but it's kind of like in about, I would say, 2 to 3 categories for the most part. And before we get into that, like I told y'all, I don't want to be there long for everybody, but I want to go straight. I'm going to let my cousin go ahead and introduce himself, and then we're going to go right into it.
All right, this your boy, Mr. Reese, 1/3 of Unfiltered. Continue to share, like, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Oh, and I have a light. I have my light. Thank you to my awesome wife. She purchased me a light the next day so I could sit here and look at you beautiful people. Thank you, baby.
Didi, I think that's Didi, ain't it?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. I think that is her.
What up, cuzzo?
Yep. Appreciate it, cuz.
Appreciate you.
Now, I had to do it back to, and she said yes. Appreciate you, pal. Now, getting right into this bad boy, real talk. The 3 things I heard the most when he was saying a lot in there. When it comes to pain, why it's important for us to heal from that pain. One is that pain is not a respecter of person. Pain don't care if you're black, white, rich, poor, got money, if you're fine, if you're ugly. Pain is just pain. And one of the other biggest things I heard in there for the most part, it was interesting that he said pain is necessary in order for you to heal.
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you, I know you said it right off the bat. tell us, in your opinion, why pain is necessary to heal.
Pain is all in the lesson. I think just like with anything, whether you get hurt in a relationship or whether you when you work out and you feel like the pain, your muscles in your body, it just helps you develop on how to be better, like mentally, physically, emotionally. So it's just self-explanatory. Hey, Miss Kathy, what's going on, Kyra? I say hi to my people. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, so it's self-explanatory. Like I said, pain is necessary for growth.
And I love the fact that when you said right off the bat that it's because it's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, myself included, we never think about that aspect of it.
Nah.
Because we stay too focused on the pain itself.
Yeah.
We give the pain too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, from that point on, we go from the pain, then you go from who you feel caused the pain, and then it just unravels
and find a way to feel comfortable in the pain.
Woo,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? Like, actually using it to grow. We find a way to get comfortable. And like how you just saying, like, all right, well, hey, if I'm in pain, I'm going to drink, I'm going to smoke, I'm going to watch porn, I'm going to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you want to be drowned in the pain, or you're going to find, a way like, okay, well, I want to stay in this pain. Maybe this, like, I think I brought up last week, like, hey, if you're going through a breakup, they're going to bump that Mary J. I want to stay in that pain. They ain't going to bump that Kurt Franklin. They will stay in that Mary J. Blige way. Me, I'm listening to Music Soul Child. I'm in that pain. I burned down a house. Man.
But it's the truth. It's like what you said.
Really?
It's like we want to. It's funny that the one thing that we feel is hurting us, we don't want to let go. And we've said all this. That's why when I heard, as I was listening to that today for Pastor Henderson, I was like, man, this is everything. If there's everything felt like confirmation, right back, then just like bam, this is what's going on. And like you just said, it's like people want. I think we said it like when people. How the best way to say it? People like to put things together. When you remember things, it just means to put back together.
Yeah.
So when you start remembering the pain and the things that a lot of stuff caused you, the longer you continue to think on that, it's because you continue to want to put the pieces back together and almost relive it all over again, thinking that in some weird way, it's going to change. It's not going to be the same circumstance. It's going to change around.
Yeah.
And I know we both said it when we was talking about, saying some of the things we went through our fathers.
Yeah.
The biggest revelations that we got of it, because I know like last week, the biggest revelation I got out of it, and I still thought about it, was the fact I'm like, dang. Like, he, like, I'm not in control of what he did, but I was trying to be in control of it.
Yeah.
Like, man, there you go. Like, man, this and that. I'm like, and then what we happen to do is that in that pain that you go through, I didn't realize that pain in some ways healed, because what did it do for me? It didn't make me be a deadbeat father when I had kids. Mm-hmm. It made me say the type of father that I would never be.
Hey, let's Dee said it's a mental thing. Because explain why you think that's mental. And Miss Kathy, she says sometimes we fall in love with the pain, like I said, which is absolutely right.
Absolutely.
I think when it really comes down to it, I think we all graduate from actually feeling the pain it's still painful, like, to actually think about it, but it doesn't affect you. You know what I mean? And I think even what Dee said, like it being mental, like my father, not like I said, my father wasn't being in my life. I'm like, all right, mentally, I'm prepared. Like, this is how I'm gonna be a better dad. I'm gonna be a better husband. This kind of man I want to be. But me mentally doing that,
right, and
not living that stereotype, I still feel the backlash of the pain every time I think about it.
Yep.
I still feel that pain. Like I said, I think like I said, now I think I pretty much I've dealt with it, and I think I've got over it. Well, I think the difference is actually graduating from it. And I can't say I graduated from it because I think I'm over it, but actually graduating from it, when I think about it, it doesn't alter my emotions. It doesn't alter my emotions. Because that's what pain does. Like, I'll be honest, like, it'll be times where like somebody like, hey man, I just saw your dad coming over. My whole mood will change. Or like I wouldn't want to be there. Or I'll just leave. Like, I mean, until now where it's like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? But it took a while. Like I said, I'm 33. It took, this maybe 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I finally like emotionally got over it. Like mentally, I thought I was over it because I wasn't like him.
Right.
But emotionally, I never got over it until about 3 years ago.
And as you were sitting back there saying that, and I was just thinking about it, you said something that made me realize why we need to heal more and more, because we got to learn how to deal with pain. We got to learn how to deal with it. So when Pastor Henderson said something that's like he said, when he stuck out to me, he gonna say, pain is necessary in regards to getting healing. Mm-hmm. And you think about every medicine, like when you get a shot, if you got to get a shot, people don't like shots and the shot hurt. But what's going into that shot, no matter how it is really made to design to get you better.
Yes, sir.
And when I think about that, like you said, that it's like when people say this, like when you living in this world, just like when God say that, we born in this world, but we ain't of this world. And I think that's what the same analogy with pain, and I'm going to put what Didi just said now. Yeah,
I like what Didi just said. Yeah. Some people stay in that pain because that's all they're familiar with, instead of accepting the pain and moving towards being happy. And you know what else, too? Some people are actually happy being in that pain.
In a twisted way, because like you said, it's funny that familiarity breeds content. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Contempt. And that's really weird. Some people, when I remember somebody telling me, I'm like, man, it breeds. I'm like, yes, it does. Because it's like telling somebody that, man, you need to find this and find that. If you got your hopes up so much, right, for something, that kind of fear, that kind of disappointment, that kind of anger for when it doesn't go the way that you perceived it should have went, or you hope that it would go, mm-hmm. It can stop your transmission going forward if you allow it to.
Absolutely.
And when you have to go through those things, it's like, wow. Like, why I need to go to the unknown territory of, man, is this person gonna love me? Is this person gonna do me right? Or I can stay where it's familiar. I know the terrain. I can see it. I can see where it's coming from. I can see where I'm going. I could do all these things, because that's what fear is. Fear is like the hood, your old hood. Mm-hmm. It ain't the best. You know that you shouldn't be there, but you're familiar with it. You know the houses. You know the alleys. You know the blocks. You know the store. You know the people around there. You know they scandalous, and you know all these other things, but it's familiar to you. And I love that comment that you made, like we were talking about familiar. But
real,
the other parts of it, I'm putting y'all stuff on here as we go. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it moving and everything.
All right, let's see what Kyra said. Sometimes people don't know how to heal. They may want to heal. They may be tired of hurting. But some people just don't know how to go about healing. Just my opinion. Which is absolutely true.
That's absolutely true.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Before we get to Mr. Edwards' comment, like, I didn't really know how to heal till, like I said, I talked to you about that time. Like, I didn't really knew where to go.
But you know the thing though, right?
Yeah.
That's what's the beautiful thing is. This is why we all have to get. That was one of the things I was gonna say. Why it's important to heal, because somebody waiting on you to get healed, so you can encourage them.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Mr. My bad.
Oh, no, you good.
We'll go to Mr. Edwards' comments. My dad losing his mind. He's mad at me because I won't call his girlfriend wife mom. He said he's 3 years older than me. I'm almost 51. You mean she?
Yeah, I think he meant she.
Okay, because I'm finna say
your daddy was
Menace Society.
I'm like, cuz your daddy was banging in 3. That boy has some powerful sperm.
Menace Society.
Like, he got some powerful sperm.
No, but yeah, I mean, like definitely respect. Like, yeah, like, you know, it's I get it's a respect, but then at the end of the day, like, people grown. So it's like, I mean, certain stuff, if you want to get mad over it and just like kind of harp on that, then like that's.
I think, like you said, what you said too is that what happens especially when there's some deep hurt, is deep-seated hurt that you're not willing to share, which is the worst type of hurt, because you don't want to tell nobody about it. It's right there. I'm pretty sure women have that, but with men are really bad at sharing that in the beginning when you're on that. It's hard for them. So when a man get like really crushed, disappointed, he don't want that son, because he know right off the bat that he's vulnerable at that point, and then two, it looks like weakness to him. So like, I'm at this vulnerable point, I'm destroyed, I'm hurt. I can't let nobody see this, because now they know how to attack me. That's why, and I'm gonna say this to women, because women, I'm not, again, ladies, I'm not saying that y'all don't have this happen to y'all. I'm only sharing it from a man's point of view. So understand this. This is why you can tell when a man really want to be with you, because it's a level of vulnerability that he's going to have with you.
Yeah.
If your man does not trust you, see, men and women got different ways how they can show they could trust. When a man doesn't trust you, he don't share nothing intimate about him.
Nope.
Y'all go out, y'all have fun, y'all do all these other things, but you won't know. You'll know. You'll know the surface of some things he want to do, but you'll never know his true passion. You'll never know what his purpose is.
And it's a big difference, like if it's something that you catch and it's something that he tells you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, well, hey, I see that you like this or don't like this, but if it's something that that a man can tell you that's like deep, like, whoa, like, you know, yeah.
And you'll know it, because, you know, man, he'll do, it's just things that he'll do to let you know how much he trusts you. And that's a big one for him, because men do not talk about the integral details of their lives with a lot of women, because they don't trust women, because they don't want to have that one conversation. They don't want to have that one time they talking to the wrong person, or talking to this person or that person, and somebody then found out about something that he done told someone else. Really intimate details, and it just it's crazy, but it's just the truth. And I know women, ladies, I know y'all get hurt.
Hey, Didi, that's a fact. That's probably a whole other topic in itself.
Yep.
Hey, we appreciate you loving the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, that is almost going to a whole nother topic, because I was just gonna say, like,
that's a whole nother topic. Don't worry, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. Well,
got that set up, but but it is what it. With the deep part of what is that when talking to you, like I described, I'm just using our fathers because that was the one thing that I wanted to understand. Like, he didn't realize things that I saw when he was going through some things. And he like, man, I ain't think nobody saw that. I ain't think nobody was paying attention to that. And because you got to go through it. Because I remember at times I'm like, no, man, I ain't about to do that. And I just shared details, you know what I'm saying, of the things what happened with me and my father between us. Like, man, can't do, you know, like, man, you saying this to me. Because it's very important. And you keep in mind, that affected every relationship that was deep coming into it. So, especially with women, like I see some things like, no, you ain't, oh, no, that's that, almost like that crazy stuff my dad used to do. I ain't even have no parts of that. I'm done. Yeah. And what the biggest things, because I know, like, why we saying it's important to heal, is if I could put it down, and like I said, I don't want to, I love that video with Pastor Henderson, but it's just some key things that I really pulled out, and I want to drop it to y'all spirits, and I really hope that it bless you the way it blessed me today. One is, it's important to heal because bitterness destroys you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and it's the slow killer. It's the killer that you really don't see, but for some reason you indulge in it and you enjoy it. Yep. And that go right back to what you were saying, Matt, when you have, and also what you were saying, Didi, when we was talking about some people are friends with it. Actually, every single one of y'all done said it down here in this line. Like, when you become friends with it, when you're familiar with it.
You become
I love that. I love that.
You become
an ulcer. Yep. Like an ulcer. It destroy you and you don't realize it. And it's like, and to be honest, in some cases, you really don't care because that pain is that thing that's been keeping you for so long. Almost like a bad glue.
You become like a functional depressant.
Yep. Like what did he say, cuz? What you said? Yeah. One thing he said there, alcohol. This is what pain does. It say, all right, go find a filler. If that's what you want to do, if a filler make you do. If your filler was, I feel if I have more and more sex with random people. If your filler is, I'm going to do more and more drugs. If your filler is, I'm going to eat and eat and eat and eat. If your filler is, I'm going to keep drinking. I'm going to drink. And all the while you're doing these things in this obsessive way, think about what you're doing, that you're killing yourself slowly. And then after you done and got done eating, and now you got to come to the grips that you got a mountain more problems because you believe that this thing called pain was your friend and you kept allowing it to just tell you to do something opposite and thinking that once you did these things, it'll go away. And you realize that, bam, it was still right there. You was drunk. Like this happened all the time. And I see it when people go to funerals. And I wish that people would stop doing this. They get out there and the first thing they want to do is get drunk because they don't want to deal. People are scared. And
that was always weird. You know what's crazy? That's always weird to me. Like I never got it.
I don't know how many funerals. I'm not saying this in a brag. I don't know how many funerals we've been to. Just seen that, and it never struck me as I'm gonna get pissy drunk so I can forget about everything. And this is the reason why, because when you get sober, you get the hangover. It's still there. So it didn't work. It gave you a temporary like mad altered thing and it ain't there. Just even with sex. I remember, like I said, just being a hoe and just doing a whole bunch of things. Just boom, 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 boom. Next girl, next girl, next girl, next girl, next girl. Trying to get over the one girl. Or trying to get over what issue whatever you was going through. And then once it was all over, you still came back to the same conclusion.
I'm still hurt.
You're still hurting. You didn't fix anything. And then, like Kyra, you said, some people just don't know how to get over the pain. They don't know what to do. And I think that's a real true statement because I could say that for me. I didn't know how to get through that pain, how I felt about my father. I didn't. And to be honest with you, in the same token, I didn't want to because I felt like I'm the one that should be entitled to be angry because I didn't do nothing. Like he did it. Why should I be the one to be like, oh, I got to be the bigger person? Like I used to hate those things when people say, be the bigger person, be the bigger person, be the bigger person. I'm like, man, you know what? If I get any bigger, I'm going to be a giant. Maybe I need to just stop being around certain people. Because if I always got to be the one that take the high road, then it means the people that I'm hanging around or the company that I'm keeping must be low class. Mm-hmm. If I'm always got to be the one to take the high road. But yeah, I think that is necessary. The one biggest ones that is necessary because, man, this pain and stuff, it reaches out to different areas. It reaches out to bitterness. It goes into your health. It goes into everything else that it just magnified on everything else. And the other big thing I noticed that he said that why we need to get rid of the pain and get healed, well, we need to get healed. Why is it so important? Is because we got to remember that the only reason pain is around for as long as it is because we allow it to live rent-free in our minds all the time. Mm-hmm. We allow it to take up residency, not pay any rent, stay with us, come with us everywhere we go, into the next relationship, to this relationship, to the next job, to to the next spot. We carry it, and then we try to figure out, like, why are you still here? Shoot, it ain't here because it's by choice. It's here because you don't want to get rid of it. But then I noticed the other reason why we want to get rid of, because like I said, the other reason why we want to get healing, we already said one. What was that? Big one. We want to get rid of healing because somebody's waiting on us.
Yeah. Somebody's
waiting on us so that we could talk them and pour into their lives on how they can get over here. And the biggest thing, I heard this, and everywhere I go, and I understand it more and more. If we don't understand we connected, then you just choosing to be blind. Every time we go through things in life, it's not just for us. Yeah, it's to help develop and get us to better, but it's to help others around us who will get the same type of discouragement and go through the same different things that we're going through. And we can say, hey, and be honest and truthful about it. Man, look, it ain't easy. It's tough. But I'm telling you, I'm here to let you know that you can get through it. Yeah. And those are things. And like I said, the other reason, healing, why we need to get healing, because, that it's killing us from the out, from the inside out.
Yep.
And the third one, why we need to get healed? Why was the real reason that we need to get healed? Is because we have to get rid of this notion that healing is a gift. What I mean by that is that I held on to pain like it was the most prized possession of my life. And that's how so many of us hold pain. We hold on tight to it, no matter if it's relationships. And then we spot anytime somebody tell us about something that's wrong with us, that pain make us say, well, what about you? It make us find fault. It takes us off a hot seat that we need to sit our behinds in.
Yep.
And get corrected.
Hey, I'd like to touch on that first one that you talked about.
Yes, sir.
I think when we actually go through things and learn from it and want to reach out and help other people, they can recognize whether you've been through or not. And they can
absolutely,
and they can definitely understand, like, like, hey, this guy been through it. He knows. Like, you don't have to tell them, they can just read it off of you.
Right.
And it's like, that's why, like, certain things that even happened in my life where, like, I haven't told the person, but they're like, hey, this was going on, and like, or I've been going through this such and such, and it's like, wow, like, I understand, or hey, I've been through that, or hey, they know that, hey, you've been through it too, or hey, you healed from this, so what do you do, right. Or how did it help you? Sometimes it just happens like that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100, because it's that saying, they say real recognize real, but people know when you've been through what you do. They know differently somebody that's just talking off the side of their neck into somebody that actually walked through some things.
Yep.
What you're talking about. And that's why it's so necessary for us just to be like, look, I got to deal with this. So to answer Kyra, your question when they're saying some people don't know how to heal, I got a simple answer for that. And that came to me as when you were saying, and I'm sitting here talking and listening at the same time. And it is that no one does. No one knows how to heal. If we did, we'd be all healed instantly. We'll do it. We'll just go get healed instantly. We'd be like, bam. All right, I'm healed. I'm done. Because it's a process. It's just like when you're walking. When you're learning to walk, you crawl, then you go into walking. Pain has that same process. It doesn't just start in one place. It's a buildup. Because think about it. You fall, we ride a bike, you fall, bam. Skin yourself, you get up, dang. dust it off, cry, whatever, you know what you do with it. Get your self back on, get back on the bike, do it again. Normally, right? You got some people that keep falling. Keep falling. Seem like they can't never get it. And what happened, and I see that, I'm gonna put that up there too. And what happens is that when you have those things that happen, it's just some things that almost literally traumatize you. Where somebody be like, man, why you can't go in there and ride that bike? Well, you ain't fell down as many times as they felt it.
It's a fact.
People swimming. They get in the water, they swim, they have one traumatic experience where they almost drown, and it simply paralyzes them from going back in there and trying it again. Wrong relationship. One guy fall in love. Beautiful, girl, everybody got her. All of a sudden, she might cheat on him or something like that, and he heartbroken. Woman, find out a guy. And I say this a lot more with women because guys, man, fellas, we do women wrong. We really do sometimes. We really do women wrong on an emotional trip because we don't have the same emotion as them. So some of the stuff we do, it rips out women's hearts. And they almost, women like Wolverine when it comes to healing sometimes. And if y'all know who Wolverine is, Wolverine had this power where he can heal like incredibly fast. And that's how women's hearts be, right? But just like, dang, that's a good example, God. If y'all ever watched the Wolverine, movies with X-Men, as Wolverine got older, his healing slowed down. And that's what happened to a lot of ladies. They get to healing. They heal real fast at first, right? They heal real fast. Women heal. They come back. Okay, I can forgive you. Let's go back over again. Oh, I can forgive you. But it come a time frame when it just get too much.
Yeah.
Guys a little bit quicker because we can't handle emotions good, but women, it's a lot more men. I think really between outside of God and being a parent, you can't really compare it to how real. I'm talking about real women. I ain't talking about you women that, like I said, I don't talk about deadbeats and horrible women out there. I'll talk about people that are honestly, good in their hearts. So it just happened with that. But that's what happens when you have those things. It becomes rapid. We don't grow from it. And you're afraid. So this buildup didn't happen to where this distrust is keep going and going. My father, that didn't happen just one day. It's an effect. It happened years and years and years and years and years. And then it get to a point where it transitioned from disappointment. Tell me if I'm lying, Mac. It go from disappointment to anger. Like, you know what? I keep forgiving you. I keep letting you in. I was like, no, now I feel stupid because now you're looking at yourself. And that's why it's important to get healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that you got to get healed.
I want to touch on what Dee said. And first off, I'm just happy that, that you got confirmation to, look, and I'm no pastor or nobody, spiritually there or whatever, but I'm just happy that, you got the healing that you need from your childhood. And what's crazy? It's like, to be honest, I never even knew that you were going through any like past traumas or anything like that. I would have never known. And it ain't never too late. Like you said, it ain't never too late. Like 2 years, that's an accomplishment. And I'm just happy you feel absolutely amazing now. And one thing that, I ain't gonna hold you, it kind of bothered me. Like, I thought that it was an issue that I wasn't getting over or that I was still upset because I'm like, man, you're 30. Like, you should still be mad. You still should, be hurting or crying on the inside. And it was like until I actually wanted to deal with it and face it, like, okay, whatever happens, like I dealt with it, it still affected me. So, like, it ain't never too late. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, but that's the way that it's supposed to go. We said this. So how long have we been saying this year? And we got Miss Hill. She didn't came on here. So we already know she's about to do some firecracker stuff. So we expect some things for her.
I'm about to mute my mic because she about to go in.
Yeah, she about blump, dump. And I'm like, okay, we just let her we'll let her heat up the mics. But what I noticed too, we've been saying this whole time. Like you just said, 30, and I was thinking about. Remember, I said I had that pain on me for almost over. My goodness, I'm like over 25 years. Like just and we say this all the time. That's why I tell people all the time, and I realize that more and more myself is that I keep my mouth off people. And it's been a constant development, but because you don't know what people are going through. You have no idea what people have been through. Well, you might say, "Oh, that man, I'm good. You can pick up from that." Like, they ain't you. And it happens all the time. We tell somebody that what makes them fall down don't make us fall down, but what make us fall down might make them fall down. And then ain't no age preference. That's why we got, that's why we got physical, that's why physical death was invented. Because you got time. You got, like, it's never too late. Once you get to the point where you realize when you want to accept and get healing, you got time. I ain't saying wait forever, but I'm saying that it's never too late to get your healing. And like I said, to answer people's question again, how do we go about healing? You don't know. The number one thing is that you got to admit it to you. You got to admit it. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Because that's the one you try to trick the most. And that's why you got so much pain in the first place, is because we try to lie to ourselves. Oh, that ain't bothering me. Like, yeah, it did bother me. I want to break their neck after they did that. And what happens so much, it just go that far with things, man. It always start off as you get disappointment. I agree with you, these go from disappointment. It always start off some type of disappointment. Something happened, you got disappointed. And then from that point on, they go into things that it shouldn't go into. Whether they go to hurt, whether they go into, like some people say, the trauma, where it go into anger. It just go into different places because we didn't let it go unchecked for so long. And it's just like a kid. It's like a spoiled kid. Or let me take that back, like an undisciplined child. If you get to the point where you allow this child to keep running amok and you never put it in check, they all over the place. So I'm done because I want to stay in this time frame. I want Ms. Hills to go ahead and say something, and we'll take it from there. I hope she ain't having technical difficulties, because you're here.
Ms. Hills?
I wonder if she got in, and maybe she's just doing something. Well, you come in when you let us know and everything else. But Matt, in total, when it comes to this healing, why was it so important for you to get this healing for yourself?
Honestly, I wanted to become better for myself. And secondly, I knew it was still affecting me. That was a big reason. Like, I still wanted the relationship. I still wanted a relationship with my dad. I wanted it, like how I imagined it would be. And I thought that, maybe if I were to keep going, that, hey, it could happen. But every time it was successful, like it came from me, being sad, disappointed, and like I said, just to being pissed. And to where every time, I heard about him or somebody told me about him, whatever, I just automatically got upset when I couldn't control it. And even like I said, I became a father. I mean, a husband and a father. And like, it still never helped. I still never felt like I was healed, or like, I still never felt like I felt like something was wrong.
Right.
And just really thinking about it. All right, cuz, thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate you, Diddy.
I knew it was something I had to fix, even if, like I said, even if the relationship didn't happen. I just wanted to grow, and I wanted to be better for myself. And if I knew I just kept being upset, I didn't want it to affect and it was affecting my marriage. It was affecting my family. You want Fifi?
Yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Miss Hills.
All right, so I'm gonna stop talking and let Miss Hills go in.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm following. What we talking about?
We're talking about healing. We're talking about healing. We're talking about basically like the process of pain and how pain has brought us to do certain things, or like how we basically fold to it, or how we overcome it, pretty much.
Yep. Why is it important to heal?
Okay, I just want to make sure I was on point. So for me, I can only speak for me. Everybody's journey and process is different. But for me, healing is so important just for you to have a wonderful life. I feel like a lot of us are looking for, like, I want to be happy. I want to live the best life. And healing is the key to get to that. Because when we don't heal, when we don't take the time to identify how we even got broken in the beginning, what caused us to be broken, where we would need healing, then we won't move forward. We'll just stay stuck. We won't grow. We'll be hurting people. So that's why healing is important, because you have to be able to recognize you're broken. That's the first thing, acknowledging and admitting I'm broken. I've had a lot of things happen, or one thing happen, or a few things happen that's gotten me to this point. And in order to get past this and be who I want to be, become, grow, mature, whatever you want to call it, I have to first acknowledge that I'm broken and then be willing to do the work. So for me, I've had so much pain and disappointment and betrayal and everything you could think of in my life, but you wouldn't know that when you meet me and when you come in contact with me, because I choose healing intentionally. Like, I don't want to be stuck in those places of hurt and pain. I don't want you to see me and see me look like what I've been through. Not because of a prideful thing, like I just want to look great all the time. No, because I don't want to be weighed down by that weight of pain and hurt and negativity. That's a lot of energy. I'm a happy person. I like to be able to be light and vibrant and have fun and enjoy. I don't like being weighed down. I don't like being heavy. So for me, healing is my number one. Like, that's my main thing that I do all the time through reflection. That starts the healing process. Recognizing, hey, I had an issue and now I need to deal with it. This person hurt me and now I need to deal with it. I'm creating a monster because I'm not telling these people, I don't like when you talk to me like that. And I just let it build up over time, more and more. And then I don't acknowledge it or address it. And then now I'm distancing people, cutting people off, not talking to people. That's not a good place for me to be in. So for me, I'm like, whatever it takes, I'm committed to that. I'm faithful to that. I'm going to do what I need to do in order to make sure that I'm bettering myself every day. I'm doing personal and self-development so that I can truly grow. I can truly develop. I can make room for what I want. That's the biggest thing. When I'm not healing and I'm not taking the time to go through the process, like right now, me and my husband are going through a process. We had planned pregnancies and they didn't go as planned. That was one of the hardest things we've ever faced in our life. And we still trying to figure out how to deal and come back and be okay from this. This is the hardest thing ever. Like, it's affected every part and aspect of our life. But we're choosing every day to figure it out. We're choosing every day to decide to live, decide to keep moving forward, decide to not let it break us and keep us down and hurt and broken, but to learn how to positively work through it. So I feel like healing is important. If you want room for more, like if we weren't going through this process, we wouldn't even try for children anymore. We wouldn't even try to be open to the idea or the fact, because we're just stuck in pain and hurt. But because we want children, that's our desire. That's what we want. We're going to go through this process of healing so that we can be whole and well, and we don't be broken parents when we do become parents to our children that we're going to have. We want to be whole and well. We want to give them the best of us. We don't want to pass down brokenness and hurt and pain to our kids. We want to be the best parents we can be. We're never going to be perfect, but we're going to be able to be works in progress. And I feel like, again, for me, that's one of the main things that I'm dealing with right now, that I'm healing through. But there's so many other things that has happened that has been just ugly and horrible and real bad that's happened to me in my life. So many people taking my kindness for weakness, because I got a big heart I'm giving. They just decided, oh, you nice? Oh, okay, we're going to take advantage. Multiple times. People that was really close to me, some people that I worked with in partnerships and business, all types of stuff. But I didn't allow that to stop me, because then I would never expand or grow in my businesses if I just start taking on that pain and working and operating through that pain. I had to learn, okay, this person did this to me, but I have to forgive them, or I'm going to be the one stuck in bondage, holding a grudge and holding on to this and carrying this for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I got to be the one to let this go. Whether they say they apologize, whether they acknowledge that they was wrong, I have to free myself. I can't wait on them to tell me, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. They may never come do it. And if they do, great, but they may not. So I have to do what I need to do for me. Healing is for you. Forgiving is for you. The other person can do whatever they want to do, but it's about you. It's about you being in a place where you can open up for all of that God wants to give you, the many blessings he has for you. If you stuck just being a victim, then you're never going to see victory. You're never going to see the new things, the new blessings that God has for you, because you're stuck. So that's all I have to say. All I have to say is healing is great. It's an ugly, messy, beautiful process. Mm-hmm. But once you go through it and get to the other side, you're going to be grateful that you went through it. You're going to be grateful that you stuck it out. You're going to be grateful that you even allowed yourself to be humbled, because I feel like healing is humbling as well. It takes you to a place where all that pride, all that ego, all that haughtiness, it can't live in that.
Right.
It takes you to your lowest of your low so that you can get to your highest of your high. So that's why I think healing is important, and that's for me. That's my process. That's what I do. That's what I've been going through, and I'm proud of it. It's not something that I feel like is shameful or guilty. I feel like a lot of people be ashamed, like, oh, I got to go through the healing process. Oh, this is so horrible. No, that's the best place to be in, because you're not going to be dealing with this stuff once you fully go through this process. It's going to be something that's in your past, that's fully gone, that's fully developed, that's fully matured past. Like, it ain't gonna have that hold on you no more.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100. And I know that what we gonna do now, because I do want to stop there. I want to stop us there. I want for next week. We're gonna have some great conversation next week. And it's funny that when Fifi said this, and I'm gonna really wrap this up, is that next week we're gonna talk about why are men and women afraid to be naked? And all of that when we're talking about in the fear of naked, we ain't talking about sex. We talking about something way different than that. We talking about to be where Miss Hills was just talking about, where you are totally uncovered, vulnerable, and out. What's the fear of being naked? So next week we talking about that in regards to AirPods for men and women. Why are men and women afraid to be completely naked when it comes to to being healed? So it's gonna be a great little conversation next week. So make sure y'all here. It's gonna be at 7:45 next week. Again, Ms. Hills, Mr. Reach, y'all got anything I want to say before I go here? Let them get out of here today.
Nah, everybody continue to share, like, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next week to talk about these awesome topics. And that's all I have. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, Miss Kathy, as usual, Dee Dee, Mr. Edwards, Kyrie, definitely appreciate you. So everybody continue to share, like, and subscribe. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Ms. Hills, why don't you go ahead and close this out? We about done.
All right. I just want to pray. God, I pray that you would help everybody to begin their healing process, their journey. Help them not to be afraid and help them to stick through it. Take it one day at a time, moment by moment. Help them to be real and honest with themselves. Help them not to be afraid to go through that pain in order to overcome it and come through it. I pray that everybody will be healed in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, everybody. See y'all next week, 7:45.